What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a very quick video. I had to show this and I had to talk about it. This was a vintage collection Miscard that has set a record price, to my knowledge, for these Miscards, ungraded. And I wanted to talk about it and also talk about a few other Miscards that are actually still out there and for sale right now to give you some price data on some of those. And we'll see what happens. But I think it's worth talking about this because this price was unbelievable, and it was not shill bidding. I can confirm on that one. This is a vintage collection VC 178 Rogue One Darth Vader with the Beskar Mandalorian Miscard. So, it's a factory Miscard where the Beskar Mandalorian was placed on the Darth Vader card, and these were in the same wave, so it makes sense, and that tends to be the case with these Miscards. But anyway, this was listed for sale by a member of the Vintage Collection Facebook group. So I know it's a legitimate sale, and the price was just mind-blowing. I mean, it sat at about $300 almost all day yesterday, and then at the end, it really jumped up at a massive price. It sold for $1,630. Now, what's interesting about this is that the seller got this from Big Bad Toy Store, and for some stupid reason, Big Bad Toy Store sent it to him, but before they sent it to him, they blacked out with an ink magic marker through the UPC code. Why they did that, I have no idea. So, and I'd be curious to know how the grading companies would handle this, because I think that it would preclude it from being graded. Usually when there's ink touch-ups or ink markings on the actual card back, that means it's automatically rejected for grading. So now, I've also heard, and the seller actually mentioned this, and I've heard this elsewhere, that if you use lighter fluid, like lighter fluid like you use in a small lighter, or for the grill, whatever, if you use some of that with a Q-tip and wipe it very carefully on these black magic markers, it does pull up. And I don't know, I'm not, certainly at this price point, I wouldn't be willing to risk that, but someone clearly did not care about the fact that it had these marker touch-ups on the back, or marker strike-throughs. It's not really a touch-up, so to speak, but I wish that Big Bad Toy Store had not done that. But nevertheless, congratulations to the seller on a pretty epic price point, and this is easily the highest price I've ever seen for one of these vintage collection Miscards. So that's that one, and and also as it goes to rarity. I've got the Mandalorian, the first issue Mandalorian on the General Lando Calrissian card back, and I've seen a number of examples of those. I think I've seen between 4 and 6 of those out there, but this is the only one I've ever seen with the Beskar Mandalorian on the Darth Vader card. And when you have two very iconic characters like the Mandalorian and Darth Vader, it's going to really bump up the price. And but still, that price point is pretty crazy, considering that a graded first issue Mandalorian on the General Lando card, there was one that was AFA graded, I think it was an 8.5, and that one sold for $1,500 on eBay earlier this year. So this one is ungraded, and it has ink touch-ups on the back of the card, and it's still sold for a higher price. So pretty amazing. Now, I wanted to also point out, for those of you who are looking for them, I wanted to show you a couple of other really awesome Miscards. This one is one that I'm sure I hope will show up in more numbers, but this one is the Ahsoka on the Darth Maul Clone Wars card. So these two are obviously in the recent wave release that just came out, and this looks to be a pretty epic and legitimate Miscard. The problem is with this one is really beat up. It's got some wear around the hang tab, lots of crunches. He apparently got it from Amazon, and you can see on the back of the card at the bottom there, near the UPC code, it's got a crease that goes all the way across there. So it's really beat up because and you can see at the top there above the hang tab, a lot of edge wear. And again, this was from Amazon. It was shipped from Amazon, and it's still going. It's got 3 days and 9 hours left in this auction, so it'll be interesting to see what this one sells for. But right now it's $103. He only includes 2 photos, but from what I can tell, it's legitimate, but I don't know for a fact that it's legitimate. It's got the waffle pattern around the blister seal there, but there is kind of a weird, right in here, there's kind of a weird piece of paper or something going on there. So could it be a fake? Possibly. I don't know for a fact, but it looks legit just at first blush, but it is pretty beat up. So keep that in mind if you're going to bid on that. But that is on eBay US. There's another one here that I wanted to talk more about in more detail, and this one is an off-world Jawa card back with the Echo, the off-world Jawa card back with the Clone Trooper Echo miscarded on there. Now, what's really cool about this one is that there's been a number of these that have shown up, and this one is for at auction on eBay UK. Right now, it's sitting at 220 Great British pounds, but it's still 5 days and 5 hours left to go on this one, so I imagine it's probably going to go pretty high. But there's been a number of examples, and I've count for these for this specific miscard combination. I count over 16 now that have surfaced, and every one of them has been in the UK. They have not shown up here in the US at all. One lucky member of the UK TVC group, she found 6 of these at a store and bought all. I believe bought 5 or 6 of all 6 of them potentially. I think she might have left one on pegs. I don't know, but anyway, she auctioned off a couple of them so far. The prices were pretty stratospheric. One of them sold for 500 pounds. Another one sold for, I believe, 495 pounds. And then another seller had 2 of them that he sold just outright for 395 pounds each. So that gives you a rough price point of where this one potentially could land up. It could end up at that price point. It may not. It may go higher. We'll see. But I wanted to at least point those 2 out that are active listings right now on eBay UK. And then on this one, this beat up one is on the US eBay. But again, I don't know for a fact that this one is legitimate. It looks legitimate, but just be careful and make sure you got buyer protection and all that stuff. But this one is 100% legitimate. I can tell you that because this seller he's had a few of them for sale. But anyway, I just wanted to share that information. But the big news was really that miscard that sold yesterday for $1,630. That is just absolutely mind-blowing, given that it had ink touch-ups on the back of the card. But just some more data out there, and the cat is clearly out of the bag for these modern miscards, and I'm glad I've got a few of them when I did, because I could not afford something like that nowadays. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I try to provide price data where appropriate, and when I find interesting information on both the vintage collection as well as on vintage Kenner items. And for my existing subscribers as well as to my Patreon supporters, thank you so much for everything you guys do. Thanks again, and I'll be back soon.